such a big secret, and all of you for and to Mom for always being there for all of us. And I know today a lot of people have said that Dad has 2 women in his life, and I wanted to
acknowledge that. It's not normal.
So we wanted to again just say how proud we are of our dad for all you've done throughout the last 40 or more years in teaching us how to live such a balanced life. And I think that's one word we can say about my dad and your coworker and your friend is that he has lived his life with balance, and we know he'll continue to do that going forward. And his grandchildren will certainly help him. We know we can expect after he officially stops working at the hospital and eases into retirement is more pop-pop pancakes, help around the house for Mom especially, and all the good things they have planned together towards the end of the year and into the future. And if you're lucky, maybe some homemade crock pot roast.
You're gonna get so fat, Christina.
Dad, you're so good. But we're so proud of you, Dad, and again, we love you very much, and we're really just so proud of all you've done. And I think everyone can join me and my brother, who will pick up after this. And say
Don't finish
finish
what you're drinking. This is just part 1.
Cheers.
Thank you all.
Cheers.
I'm very happy that there's not much food because I'd be afraid that by the time I'm done that the food would have been cold. But one of the many things that I admire about my dad is that there is a direct connection between his head and his heart. And that's one thing that I was hoping that in giving a little bit of a toast today that I'd be able to kind of exemplify and embody, because I aspire to be able to do that. And I was thinking about, that we've all been such recipients of that direct connection between his head and his heart. I think it's evident in his day-to-day life that he's able to reach out to folks with kindness and compassion, relate to his patients and colleagues on just a different level. And there's a lot going into something like today, and I certainly had some prepared remarks. I was like, what better way to try to do it is than to not refer to my notes and just kind of think about what's in my heart at the moment. And in doing that, I was thinking about the 2 things that have been keeping me up lately. And one was the first time that I'm going to get that phone call from my mom saying that your dad's in the hospital. And I'm going to wonder, what happened, Mom? What happened? She's like, well, he was supposed to go to Home Depot. They were having to stay $5 to $10 for mulch. Dr. Brumberger is wheeling him around the hospital. His badge doesn't work. Security called. Someone needs to go pick him up. How do you break a career like this where he gets on 91 and the car goes one direction? The other thing that's been keeping me up is just the thought of him waking up on the first Monday that he's truly retired. And we've talked about it already, but he's like, one of the hardest things for me is going to be the fact that I don't have any ERM training.
EMR?
Just the electronic medical records, the EMR training, right? I was like, oh, you seem to love that so much.
Just like all of us.
So thank you so much for having us and inviting us to celebrate such an incredible life moment, my father's retirement. On a regular basis, my father has always, day in and day out, has always complimented this group here. It's your kindness, your professionalism, your competency, and the sense of humor. We have so many fond memories within our family of the work family, whether it was decorating his office for Christmas, the great Halloween costumes that we would see along the way, the parties interspersed, the times we'd have music and margaritas at our house. It's been a little while. But one of the things that's been really, really outstanding is that, and as you know with my father, is that he's always said, you just can't lose your sense of humor. And because of you all, he has been able to not only maintain his sense of humor, but have an incredible amount of sanity left over for his retirement. And when I think about the attributes, that kindness, the professionalism, that sense of humor, certainly everyone here is integral to that. But there is one name that certainly comes to mind immediately, and it's Donna. So, again, we work together all the time. So I'm like, Dad, how's your week going? What's the day look like? It's me and Donna against the world. That is a phrase that is on a regular, that comes from my father on a weekly basis. It's me and Donna against the world. Donna, you have been fiercely loyal. You have been a lightning rod. You've been a blessing to everyone here, the work family, our family. So to Donna, 40 years ago, my dad, maybe 40 plus years ago, my dad made one of the most important decisions in his life. And that decision was to marry my mother. So, yes, and my mother has loved and supported unconditionally, without reservation. And this day and my father's retirement is as much about his retiring as it is about my mother's support for him from day one. So to my mother, Roseanne, we're halfway through. There's a few times in my life where I've been in a position to give a toast, and I've always said, I could go quick or I could take a moment, so I hope that if you just stretch your legs. But we're going to round the turn here. You may not know this story, but my father, when he proposed to my mother, when he got down on one knee, he said to her, I have a very important question I'm going to ask you. But before you answer, there's something that you need to know. Do you remember what he said? He said, patience will always come first. So he said, patience, advance notice. I don't know if that would have worked if I said it. She was a nurse, so she knew. He was lucky to find her. But patience will always come first. And they did. Yeah. And for the last 39 plus years, my father has perfected not only that promise, but he has perfected his craft. But I don't want you to make any mistake, because at no point has anyone here or anyone in the family ever been second. My sister and I have always been looking forward to him coming home. We've always wondered, is this weekend, is Dad not on call? 100%. And we would meet him, greet him at home with a big hug. He'd make his rounds like he would do at the hospital, go around the garden, come back. But we were the beneficiaries, the direct beneficiaries of his career and his decision to become a doctor. Because we had our dad as a doctor, we had a very quiet pride and respect for what he did. He was improving the health and the lives of other people. And we treat that was something that we had a little bit of ownership into. We knew that Dad may not be able to make a game. Dad may not be able to go off the street with the bikes because he's on call, and we have to be close to that phone in case someone were to call him. So this was a way of life that we grew accustomed to very, very quickly. And it was his work ethic, it was his humility, it was his life of service that really just taught us that you have to think beyond yourself and do your best for others. And it's just we're very blessed to have had that in our lives. And to kind of conclude matters and this, I appreciate you. I guess you can't, I am near the door. Perfect position. My father, I think, has somewhat shied away from any spotlight. But it's certainly been the times that we've been in the express lane at Stop and Shop, or just walking about town, if you will, where the regard and the compliments that would come from those that we would run into would say, your father's Dr. Smith, he's really helped me through a difficult time, or your father is such a nice man. Where it's been that spotlight, that glow that's been shining on my father, and indirectly for the rest of us to see and kind of respect. So if you wouldn't mind joining me in raising your glass to my father, who has led a sterling and virtuous career, to the best father, the best husband, hope the best colleague, and the one true good doctor that you could ever have. Here's to my dad.
Salud.
Salud.
Thank you, David.